What secret about not having to hunt are you talking about? Just buying all the parts off of certain vendors?
Okay, off we go.
Frozen Valley. Ooh, she's dancing. There's an owl in this area.
Where does that drawbridge connect to?
No idea, but I've seen it get lowered. It can't be lowered from this side anyway, so it's useless to us.
I hear wolves. Oh, what up, mother effers?
It's on. Fires of passion coursing this way.
I'm like bait to
Getting
that.
started.
Rip it through it! I'm not
Shion, astral energy, full throttle. Go! Fires of
No!
passion coursing
We
this way.
did it! My turn!
Glacial
You're
spear,
mine!
pierce evil.
Tear! Hurricane thrust!
Freeze
Mirage!
lancer.
Here I come!
Within the sky is
That's
mine. This flame.
You're mine! It's over!
Mega ray. Now.
Rip and tear!
Demon's descent.
Flashing fang!
We are over leveled, I think, a little bit. Just by a little bit. I mean, not even
This
over
could be
leveled.
useful.
Just maybe I'm just getting used to the game and the combat system a little bit. But I felt like we just bullied the fuck out of that wolf, out of that alpha wolf at that. Rosemary, elemental attack when used. That goes to Rinwell easy. It's too much chaos, dude. What are you talking about? It's perfectly understandable to see what's happening. It's simple. Okay, I'll break it down real simple, the combat in this game, and maybe you'll be able to follow along a little bit because you've been kind of in and out. So we have our basic sword attack, which we've been doing with R1, and then assigned to triangle, square, and X, we have our arts, which is our special abilities. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting generally what I'm doing right now is I'm hitting the target 3 or 4 times, then I'm hitting Dragon Swarm. I'm going from Dragon Swarm right into Lightning Thrust. Don't even. And when I toss them with Lightning Thrust, this tosses them up into the air. And then I'm hitting them, you know, I'm probably hitting them once, hitting them with Luna Rondo, depending on what it is. But I'm gonna do like a combination of between 4 hits, a Hurricane Thrust, a Luna Rondo, followed by a Mirage. And then when we land on the ground, I'm gonna use someone's boost attack, which is the fancy anime thing that we're seeing to kind of keep things moving and shit. Say something sarcastic. Say it. Say it.
Little help.
Take this!
Glacial spear.
You're finished!
Pierce evil.
Strike! Now I can let loose!
Freeze
You're
lancer.
mine! Hurricane thrust!
Fires of passion coursing this flame.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, I'll come help out. Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
Side quest. Big dudes.
I won't forgive you. Coursing this flame.
You picked the wrong fight! I owe you one! Fang Blast! Eternal Devastation! Move, escape! Dragon Pistol!
I never miss. Now, astral energy, full throttle. Go! Fires
Not a chance.
coursing this. You got
It's
company.
over.
Mine.
Mirage!
Sharpness.
Much obliged.
Easy peasy. Ha hoodle.
Holy shit. We just fucked those guys up. It's still too much noise and light effects for you? I get you. I get you. There's a lot happening all at once. The Blazing Sword. But isn't that what makes anime so great? All the voice effects, all the fancy things. Zoogle Shell Mage Coat. A mage coat carved out of Zoogle shells The sense of safety and security it affords can make it tempting to retreat inside when danger
The
lurks.
design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
Well, it's for you, Rinwell. Plus 25 in defense, plus 26 in elemental defense, plus 20 in resistance. This is a huge upgrade for her. What? You're not an anime fan? I don't watch animes. I won't lie. I don't watch animes, but I do love me some JRPGs. Like, it's super anime. Animes just have like so many episodes of them. It's intimidating to try to watch.
Gotta break through. Take this. Come one, come all. Dragon Form. Be still.
Thunderblade!
Luna Rondo. You're on. Eagle Fly. You're mine. Take this.
Thunderblade!
It's over.
Radiant
Crush.
here!
Dragon Form.
Annihilate the wind! Air thrust!
My fists are crushing it
That was
out
enough
there.
for you. It's fair. It's fair. The only one I've watched, the only anime I've watched, it's like from start to finish,
Here I come.
even that I haven't watched any of the new stuff for it, is Dragon Ball.
Dazzle.
Let's get you all tucked away!
Demons descend! Flashing fang! Easy!
Way to go!
You're finished.
Now I'm in the groove.
Dragon
Flying
Form.
freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner
Air thrust!
But like any of
Barely a
the,
blip
like
on our
anything
radar.
after Dragon Ball Z, I haven't watched the whole way through. There's nothing else. I thought there was maybe another platform down there. Oh shit, he's dead.
What's wrong?
Hey, are you okay? I'll get into the conversation in a second. Shion, we've got to get this guy first aid. I'm hungry. Shion, we've got to get this guy a potato.
Really?
What? Hey, that's mine. Haha! You think I'd stoop so low as to accept a measly potato? Think again!
Sure.
If that's how you want to act, fine. Starve for all I care. Wait. I haven't even gotten to introduce myself, young miss. I am Gordeno, a man who enjoys food above all else. I have come here in search of new and exciting cuisines. To that end, I have come across what appears to be a most exquisite recipe. However, I lack the ingredients needed to make it. I am impressed nobody ever turned this guy in. I became so hungry in my search that I collapsed.
Hey.
You should really take this potato then. Forget it. I refuse to eat it anything other than what's contained in this recipe.
Right.
Well, you heard him. He's a lost cause. Let's go. I'm not done speaking to you. Could I perhaps ask you to bring me those ingredients instead? All I need are apples and wheat. Find me those and I'll even teach you my recipe.
Right.
We've already got what you're looking for.
Nice.
In that case, I need you to follow this recipe here and bake me an apple pie right away.
What?
Wait, why do I have to make it?
Hey.
Hurry up and bake. She wants an apple pie.
Well,
Here you go. It's all done. I made enough for Shion too. Oh, look at that beautiful dish. It smells just like it's divine too. Now to see how it tastes.
what?
Oh, this is absolutely exquisite. I'm in heaven. You're a foodie. Aren't you supposed to be more articulate in describing how things taste? But what else is there to say about it? Absolutely nothing. But if you need me to spell it out, it's absolutely. We get it. It's good. Alphen, we've got our recipe. Let's get out of here already.
Shion.
Shion, wait. What is it? Your clothes are covered in pie dough.
What?
Very
I feel completely and utterly satisfied. I can leave this realm with no regrets. It's time I leave in search of even greater cuisines. Farewell, my culinary comrades. Gourmet Saga, berry scavenging. I hope we see him again in the future.
Boy, talk about a spry old man.
I can't wait to see him again.
You really liked that apple pie, didn't you?
All right, Viola. To clarify the Dragon Ball statement, Dragon Ball is kind of broken up into four series, four something segments, maybe five now. I really don't know. I've watched Dragon Ball, which is the original with Kid Goku, where he grows up and at the end, you know, he's teen Goku or adult Goku, whatever. I've watched all of Dragon Ball, the OG. And then I've watched Dragon Ball Z. Okay? Through all that. And then I watched Dragon Ball GT, which apparently doesn't even count anymore. That's 3. But then, like, there's Dragon Ball Super, I guess, is what it's called. And I think there's, like, a Dragon Ball Super Hero now, or maybe that was a movie. I don't know. I haven't watched those ones. But all the way up through Dragon Ball Z, or even if you want to count GT, I've watched all those. There's an owl right here who just won't shut the fuck up. Half frames. No, that's Star Trek, Viola. Star Trek: The Next
Look,
Generation.
Poodle, one of your buddies.
That's with Jean-Luc Picard. I've seen that. I should have never left town. It's scary and hurts to be out here. I'm going home. We got 5 strawberries, a small sweet fruit filled with water. The small grains surrounding it are the seeds, while the red portion isn't exactly considered its flesh. Dude, why'd they have to describe strawberries like that? I didn't like that. Why'd they have to describe the red part of strawberries, the flesh? Or not the flesh? That just seems wrong. Dragon Ball 2 Electric
A lot of
Boogaloo.
fish swimming around in this pond, huh?
Are they edible?
Are
Sure,
they edible?
they're edible, but we've got no way to catch any.
Shion and I would get along great. We both love food. Shion, best girl. Easy.
I hate camping out.
There's a lot of these little fuckers out there. Can you make anything new for us? No. These things suck. Do I have any fire ones? No, all my fire ones are... It's okay. Oh god, they're coming at me.
I won't forgive you.
Here I come! It's over!
Don't mind if I do.
Dragon Swarm!
Shield Lancer.
Dazzle!
All
Now!
right, it's time. What's in the sky is mine.
Take this!
Lightning
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Flaming thrust! You're mine!
Leave the enemy's
I
arc to
have
me.
no limits! No complaints here! Dragon Swarm!
Sealed.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet and...
I think we got them all.
The true power of the blazing sword.
It's only as strong as the one who wields it.
You truly mean that? Thank you.
Oh, that was a compliment. Thank you. I need to get this. What? Armored enemies broken by boost attacks. I'm almost out of what I can give him as far as SP goes. We need to unlock more of his trees. He needs to cook 7 meals as well, and leg strike proficiency 700. Okay. We gotta start cooking some meals with Law here to get his other tree unlocked. So we have more things to put his SP into. Rest?
I guess even someone as fashionable as you wouldn't know a whole lot about Dan and armor, right?
Not really, no. Like, what's with that scarf? I don't remember that being with any of the armor we found back there.
Oh, well, remember how you told me you thought I'd look good wearing some blue? I took your advice to heart and decided to give it a go.
Oh, I see. Well, it suits you.
Would you say I've learned to spruce things up like you suggested?
I wouldn't go that far.
Stop it. Stop it. Oh, shoot. Wait, I couldn't make that with law? Oh, that was lame.
Shion, could we talk a moment?
Let's talk with Shion about food.
I think it's time we go to sleep. Come on, guys. We've got lots to do.
Because money. That's the only thing I can think of. It would cost a lot of money to have to pay the voice actors to voice every little line in games like these. And they don't want to pay it. It's really my only explanation I have for that. I wouldn't say it's poor production value now. I mean, poor in the actual sense of the word, like poor, like no monies, but I wouldn't even say like these games have no money. I would just say design choice and shit.
Yeah, sorry. Just a little travel weary is all. Looking forward to finally getting out of here, you know?
Still beating yourself up about your dad, aren't you?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But that's not what I was just thinking about.
Oh?
I never did tell you how I ended up hanging around with the Snake Eyes, did I?
Not properly. All I know is you had a falling out with your dad and ran away from home.
Getting to Cyslodia almost killed me. Once there, though, I actually ended up joining a resistance organization, believe it or not. Of course, before long, someone ratted us out. And we were ambushed by the Snake Eyes. I'd never seen such brutality. If I hadn't surrendered...
Law?
I don't know why. They let me live. They made me watch as they butchered my friends right in front of my eyes. I still have nightmares. I hear roars of Zeugles as my friends scream. The snow stained red with blood. And all the while, those bastards laughing. I thought that with Ganabelt defeated, I'd be able to put it all behind me. Turns out that was a little optimistic. I was terrified they would kill me too. So I wound up betraying the memory of my friends and getting my old man killed in the process. I wonder if I'm any braver now. What if one day I panic again and end up running away like always?
And leave us behind? You really think you'd do that?
I hope not. But who's to say what I'm really capable of?
Ah, I found you.
Something wrong, Rinwell?
How very perceptive of you. When I turned around, you were gone, so we came back to look for you.
Maybe tell us next time you decide to stop? We need all our manpower to face these Zeugles.
Jeez, okay. I can't help it when nature calls, can I?
Nature? Ew, gross! Here?
Let's make tracks, shall we?
I hope he makes it through this.
You invited him along. He's your liability.
He's Zephyr's son, Shion. What was I supposed to do? Just leave him?
Fine. Just don't come crying to me about it, all right? I've got enough deadbeats slowing me down as it is.
Damn. Oh,
Why did people dig this path so far underground?
Maybe it was too dangerous on the mountains for them to traverse over them.
So you're saying that before Dana was conquered, Danans made this so that they'd have a way to get through the mountains?
If I had to guess, they might have even lived inside of these once upon a time.
Not like there's any way of knowing now. Not after all our history was lost.
No, it wasn't lost. It was stolen from us by the Renans because they thought slaves didn't need it. And because keeping it around would have made it harder to control us.
It's not all gone. Look at that over there.
What is it? It looks like a broken piece from a dish or something.
Probably. It's true the Renans erased a lot of our history. But if we look hard enough, I think we'll find there's still plenty of it left. But first, we have to win the freedom to even look for it.
We'll win it all right. Then we'll reclaim our history.
like it's hard to look at those skits and think poor production quality. I love that style of cutscene they have for those. Like it's not your standard cut. Like it's more like a how do I put it? In my opinion, it's better than like a cutscene where it just pans back and forth between each person having the conversation. You know what I mean? Like Greedfall was like, if Desarde was talking, it's on Desarde's face. If person X was talking, it was on person X's face. If it was person Y talking, it was on person Y's face, and only on that. I like these skits because like it kind of has it set up in a comic book style, but like it actually shows the scene from different angles and all that shit. It's really cool. I like it. My eyes are dry as heck right now. Which, to say, there's nothing wrong with the other style of cutscenes either. I just really like the approach with this. It kind of sets the scene. Ooh, Fleetfoot Crystal has let people move faster while charging, I think. What are these things? Ooh! Boomy.
This will be a delicious piece of...
They just fly.
cake.
You're mine! Dazzle!
Fires have passed
Here I come!
They may look cute and stuff, but they're vicious.
You're on! Not today!
Do it!
Pick up.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
So you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
There you go.
They ain't too
Well,
difficult.
looky here.
Keen Gigafang. Copper chunk. A small copper chunk harvested while mining a material. As material, it's useless, but it can be sold for a fair price. Sorry. As I was saying with that Fleetfoot one, it lets them move a little
We're
bit
so high
faster
up.
while casting. Like Shion and Rinwell. I think I want to fall into an unknown cavern. You know what I mean? So we'll slowly take the ladder down and get
I
ambushed at the
guess
bottom of it.
Messiah is the first place we met. Hala.
Yeah, I was a snake eye and you were a silver sword. Who would have thought we'd end up on the same team?
You make an odd pair. It's true.
You guys are the odd ones.
What are those things?
Running with a Renin.
Whoa. Okay, we gotta drop down right. There's a treasure chest right there. We gotta go back up. There's a treasure chest right there. But yeah, I honestly, I wouldn't be able to
What a
explain
rush.
why not every line is voice overed. But a lot of Japanese RPGs are like that though. Where they don't have everything or everyone have a voice line. There's a lot of just text-based stuff. But at least with this, a lot of the important cutscenes are definitely voiced over.
Is the blazing sword okay?
A little water's not going to hurt it.
It is. It was one of my biggest complaints with Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom whenever I played it. I played that off stream. I played that whenever I was taking a break from streaming. back when I started my job at the park when I worked there. And I think maybe it was a combination of just being too distracted with work stuff and working on work stuff while playing it, and the lack of like complete voiceover, even during some story cutscenes. Flatfish. I felt like I didn't really feel the effects of that story as much as I felt it with the first one. Like the first Ni no Kuni, really, like, I loved that story and it moved me, and it like I was an emotional wreck by the end of that game, let's put it that way. But like Ni no Kuni 2, I didn't feel that.
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
You're finished.
Yeah, so my you know, before COVID and all that fun stuff,
Consider yourself finished.
I got a job at my local Parks and Rec department as the program and aquatic manager.
You're finished.
Eagle's eye. Fires of passion. Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Astral Arch.
That's my
Which basically I ran the pool, I ran all the programs in the park, you know, all that fun stuff, all the events that happen in the park.
Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
I ran all that stuff. It was a lot of fun. I loved the fucking job. The job itself I loved, and I wish I could go back to it. Because I grew up in that park. I grew up working at the pool as a lifeguard. I was the head lifeguard there for a long time, you know. Yada, yada, yada. Like, the whole first part of my life was at that pool and at that park. Yeah, I went to all the programs. I you know, I then, you know, did all that fun stuff, you know. And then COVID hit, you know. I think it was my third year on the job that COVID hit.
Be careful, everyone. This one isn't normal.
And
Consider yourself finished.
you know, I worked through the first year of COVID, you know, the worst of COVID. I worked through that, navigated all the bullshit of it, came up with all the policies for the pool because they still wanted the pool open. I live in a really Republican area, in a Republican-driven government. Like, it was a county job. It was like, you know, local government job is what it was. And everyone's like very Republican, that is like the commissioners and all that stuff. And so like everyone's like, we gotta make sure everything's going. We gotta, you know, not shut everything down and blah blah blah. So I still had to figure out a way to make the pool work. I still had to figure out a way to make programs work that summer, all that fun stuff, you know, and you know, figured it out, you know. We figured it the fuck out. I know, right? But, you know, figured it out, all that fucking bullshit.
Armor won't save you.
Dragon Swarm! First strike!
Bet that shell's hiding something tasty.
You're mine!
There you go. I feel like meat yet.
And, you know, that went from there. The following February,
Glad you have your uses.
I ended up thinking I had COVID, so I took the time off and all that stuff. You know, at that time, tests weren't so easy to get, and tests weren't so quick, you know. There was still, you know, almost a week turnaround for tests and stuff.
Leave the enemy's arts to me.
No complaints here.
You're finished! You're ours!
And but my boss is like, when are you coming back to work? Blah blah blah. Why don't you have your test yet?
I'll be okay.
Yada yada yada. And I'm like, I don't have it because they don't have it yet. Like, what do you want me to do?
Want me to fix
And
something?
I guess he didn't like that, and he kind of, I guess, was already thinking about it, but he
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the
was
Lord?
wanting
You
to
simply
make
can't
my
be too
position
strong when
seasonal.
battle is a part of your everyday.
Meanwhile, this is not a seasonal position, mind you. It's a position that needs to be done year-round because, while yes, the pool is only open in the summer because we live in Western PA, and yes, all the events pretty much happen in the summer because it's summertime and we have no indoor space. Everything needs to be done outdoors. Yes. But all the planning for that shit happens in January, February, March. And then everything starts to kick off in March. Like, you start the hiring process in March for all your lifeguards. You start, you know, all that fun stuff. He wanted to make it a seasonal job. So by the time I was actually able to come back in, he had it pushed through. And they were going to let me go for... After I had done all the planning. You know, I had already done all the planning for the year. I had all the planning done for the year at the end of November while I was doing our Christmas events, while I was wrapping up all of our sports that we did and all that stuff. Like, I ran programs, I ran the pool, I also ran a fuck ton of sports too for the park. Scheduling, sign-ups, like all that stuff. And come back, he had to push through. They were gonna let me go, but were gonna let me come back, you know, if I wanted to. At this point, it was what, mid-February. They were gonna have the seasonal position start in April. Like, I think the second week of April or whatever. To try to schedule all the interviews for all the camp counselors, for all the lifeguards, get them in, get them hired, get them pushed through to HR. Which all of this takes is a process to get stuff to HR, to then have HR call them and get them into hire, because we start training mid-May for lifeguards for the pool that opens the first weekend of June. And I was just like, I said no. I said, screw you guys, you're imbeciles if you think that this is just a seasonal position. Good luck, have fun, you're welcome. I did all the work for you this year, got everything set up. You know, we'll see how it works next year for you. I was not having it. Well, I don't want to control her. I want to control Elfin.
Where are you going?
Be still! First strike! Mirage! You're finished!
Glacial spear.
So,
Let me help.
I'm sorry to be a father.
that happened, and it's what it is at this point in time.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
How'd things work out after that?
Not today! We're cleaning house!
Let me pick
Well, someone's feeling lively.
The park director at one point was going to leave, but then they offered him more money to stay. They hired a new person. They are a full-time person.
That training's paying off!
And then they hired a second person to run all the sports and stuff, who is a seasonal person. Because, well, that's what I was asking for the whole time, was someone to run the sports for me. Because that was just a full-time process in itself to run all the sports. As well as, like, I busted my ass for that fucking park. And it sucks, because I love that park. I love that park. I grew up there. That park is a huge part of my life. It never will not be. And, you know, I busted my ass for that place. And I got fucking shit on for it. Literally, like, I would be putting in 60 to 80 hours every week
Dispose of the trash.
in the summertime. But that's, you know, that's just how it is, you know. It's that type of position with that type of job. Like, I knew those were the hours going into it. I'm not too worried about it.
Now you see what I can do!
Dragon Swarm! Coming through! Ha!
But
Now! Scarlet
you know, he would work. It was really, if I had any other,
This is the power of the blazing sword!
if it was any other park director, it would have been different. But that guy just didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He thought he was doing, he saw it more as a business than it was what we were, which we were a community resource. But he saw it more as a business and he wanted to treat it like a business, but that wasn't what we were. We were there for the community. We weren't there to make money. We were there to service our community, you know? Yeah, I have no problem chatting about it, you know? Thanks for asking, to be honest. And like, even if, like, which even baffles me even more, like, he saw it as a business. We saw immense growth with our programs and with the pool when I took over. Like, my first year running the pool, we made $50,000, which may not seem like a lot, but for a non-profit pool, it's a lot of money. What is that guy doing? What are they doing?
The tide of battle has turned. That's the power of comrades in arms. Right now, comrades in arms. What?
Too sentimental?
Be still! Hurricane Dragon!
One more time!
But yeah, I think we were positive $50,000 my first year there, and then positive $35,000 my second year there. But that's because I pushed to have like some actual stuff fixed and some actual stuff to improve quality of life around the pool installed. So like, it was about 15 grand worth of stuff. So we essentially made another 50 grand over the summer if we didn't spend that money. And then the year that we had COVID and they wanted me to open the pool, we were in the hole. I think we lost $20,000 to $30,000 that year, but we didn't open all of June. We delayed our opening until July. We refunded all memberships, which is about $35,000 each year, and a lot of people were afraid to go out still. So like, to really only be in the negative our membership cost, like,
No choice.
I think we did okay.
It's over. Be still.
I can carve through armor!
Sleep now.
Ow.
Eternal devastation.
Now I'm in the groove!
Photon flash.
Eagle fly!
Astral energy.
Say no more. Got it.
Well done.
You're mine. It's over.
Lightning condensed.
Mega ray.
Do it!
Lost.
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Yeah, well, no one,
what I
I mean,
like to
honestly,
hear.
no one knew what was going to happen with COVID. Like, it was supposed to be a 2-week thing. It was supposed to be a, you know, we'll be all work from home or quarantined or separated from each other for, you know, month max. And then everyone had to keep adapting. We had to keep adapting. And that's fine. Like, I didn't mind all that stuff. And yeah, you would think that with the you would think with that profit alone, they would have kept me, but he didn't think, he thought I was lazy. He thought I didn't do anything. He was never happy with what,
Hurricane, come and face me.
oh, I'm fucked that up.
Eat them.
Glacial spear.
You're mine.
In here.
Eternal devastation. Not a chance. I'm
Don't
not
mind
done.
if I do.
It's over.
Hear me, flame of fury.
I'm on Lightning thrust.
I'll end
Glacial
you.
spear.
Here's the evil. Lightning orb.
Where are you going?
Whoa, hey, one at a
Here I
time.
come. Say no more.
Like I said, we would have these massive events, such good praise. What is this guy doing? I have no health. Oh, we're about to die. Alright, he's dead. I made it look, maybe. I don't think he realized how late of hours I was putting in. I don't think he realized. I think he only saw it as like, oh, well, he wasn't in the office when I was in the office, so work never got done. I really, truly think he believed that, but meanwhile, during the day, like, I had the pool to run. Okay. So the pool was open 12 to 7. We ran a day camp. Camp was from 7 to 5:30. 7 was like early drop off. 5:30 was late pickup. And then we had, you know, volleyball on Monday evenings. We had a concert series on Tuesday evenings. We had ultimate frisbee on Wednesday evenings. We had an outdoor, like, discovery is what it was called. Like, it was an outdoor presentation, educational presentation. We brought different people in for that on Thursday evenings. Friday nights was moonlight swims. You know, so on and so forth. So, like, sure, I wasn't in the office during the day, but, like, when all that other stuff was going on when in the park, that's when I was in my office doing stuff. I was still in the park during, you know, events times and all that stuff, if anyone needed me. But I would spend that time in the office during those times getting the other work done that he didn't see, like planning and calling and confirming and all that other fun stuff.
That's what I like to hear.
But because it didn't happen when he was in the office, I just think he just assumed it didn't happen, which is totally not the case. I just spent way too much time and shit on it all.
It'll be a easy. Get in, get out.
Reload. Dazzle. Hurricane thrust.
Oh my god, I gotta change how I do that. Oh my god, we're gonna get freaking wrecked.
This one's all mine. Dazzle.
Do it.
Hurricane thrust.
Demons descend. Flashing fang.
But, you know, it's whatever.
Lightning thrust. You're mine. Rising phoenix.
Now you see what I can watch.
Glacial spear.
Here's evil.
It's over.
More for the
Talon storm.
Now!
Demons descend. Flashing fang.
Now, you're mine.
Photon flash!
Lunar Rondo.
Where that came
I'm
from?
not done. Tear.
Now! Gemini
It fell as I was doing the dash.
I'm pretty worn out.
Damn it.
Want to rest up for a bit?
Yeah, it's, again, I loved my job and I would do all that stuff again.
All this walking up and down is a pain.
Trust me, I don't regret
Yeah,
putting in
I
those
wish we could just
hours.
go
I don't
straight through without all
regret.
this hassle.
On the other hand, the collapsed parts let you reach some places you wouldn't be able to otherwise.
I don't regret any of that stuff. I just
Now that you mention it, the ceiling's not gonna come down on
wish
us.
he would have
is it?
seen what I was doing. So I think his tone would have been a little bit different. We're about to lose our food buff.
I need something to eat.
Yeah, I wish we could just eat food. I wish we could prepare food and just eat it, you know. But we gotta be at a campfire to make it. And eat it fresh. We.
Ow! Here I come! You're finished!
Here goes raging
Come one, come all! Hurricane thrust! It's over! Hurrah! You picked the wrong fight! Take this! It's still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Dazzle! You're mine! It's over!
Where are you going?
You're mine!
Now. Searing flame!
Continue on now. You are in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Now I'm
Less
real
talking,
mad.
more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Take this!
Damn, I was so close to breaking it. What the fuck happened there? Damn.
I've used a bit too much healing.
I understand that. Dude, how many of these things are gonna come to life when I open that chest over there? I can only imagine. Like, God bless teachers, that's all I gotta say. God bless anyone who's a teacher. Jewel Shell
This
Vest.
looks nice and tough.
Because you guys are literally doing the Lord's work.
It's over!
I'm only getting started.
Lightning thrust! I'm not done! Lunar Rondo!
I can shatter any steel.
Take this! This one's all mine!
By the power of water.
First strike! Dazzle! Take
Now.
this!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Way to go.
You're finished! Lunar Rondo!
More for the stockpile.
Mirage! You're mine!
Radiant light. Here.
Do it.
Supernova.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Not a chance! It's over!
Glacial Spear.
You're mine!
Now.
Not a chance! You're finished!
Freeze Lancer.
Hurricane Thrust! Mirage!
Do it. This ends now.
Alright, there's a lot of flashlights happening. I just feel like a moth there just coming straight to the light.
This is barely target practice.
Oh, pretty
Then why bother
lights.
fighting them?
Because I certainly won't run away.
There's a
from
lot
the
happening
battle.
on that fight right there. What age group do you teach? Like, what grade are you teaching? Or grades if it's multiple? If you don't mind sharing. If you do, then forget I asked. Zoogle Shell Vest for him, though. That was worth it for that fight. We completely destroyed all them peoples in there. I don't know if I want to do this fight right here. I mean, I'm gonna, because I kind of have to, I think. Go in the water and go around.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Armor won't save you.
It's over!
Searing flame.
This one's mine.
Dragon Supernova. Raging
Here I come.
Cascade. Radiant
It's over!
Spread now. Astral energy.
Say no more! Got it!
Well done.
9th grade. That's a tough one.
I have no
Lightning
limits!
orb.
Now I'm
Always
real mad.
died when we were in our fucking thing.
What a relief.
Sighted.
Talon Hurricane! Rip and tear! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm like... Bait to them!
Get toasty.
Bird strike!
Take it.
Dragon jet!
That's a tough age because, you know, a lot of those kids are still going through puberty and shit like that. Or, you know, coming on the tail end of it and shit. And that's also another thing, is like, these kids are growing up in that quarantine.
Here goes.
too. Like, that's gotta be brutal. I can't imagine being a kid that had to go through that. I won't lie.
Knowing when we're in too deep is necessary to survive.
Yeah.
We may tend to push ourselves a little too hard.
Yeah, I feel that. Trying to give him the kick in the ass to do better. Without actually kicking his ass, because, you know, that would get in trouble. Wait, there's no water here. How do I get to the water part? Was there a spot to drop down up here that I didn't see? Yeah, I can only imagine. And like, dude, it was just rough on everyone. I don't know. I don't know what more to say. It really affected a lot of people in a lot of ways. That I think is gonna have long-term repercussions on a lot of shit for a while.
Gotta break through. Here I go. I can carve through armor. It's over.
Magna Ray! Sleep now!
Crush. Talon Hurricane.
Gemini Aqua! Sleep now! Magna Ray!
Ow.
The stockpile!
I hit with an orb of
More where
death.
that came from! Radiant Pierce! I'm ready!
Take this.
This one's mine! More for the stockpile!
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alphen. Very bad.
Paralyzed, no big deal. Still paralyzed. What is happening right now? Still paralyzed.
Get you all tucked away.
You're mine.
Rage in the wind.
I didn't think fighting these two alone would be
Get you all tucked
super
away.
tough, but we're just forever paralyzed, I guess.
Glacial Fear! Fierce Evil!
Lightning
Beat
condemned.
this. Hurricane thrust.
Thunder
You're
blast.
on.
Coming through.
Law Armor Breaker. Oh, here we go. AG restored by perfect evading guarding. We get increased boost gauge from enemy downs, increased boost strike damage, easier awakening over limit, reduced awakening requirements. Oh, hell yeah. Those are all gonna be big.
Any injuries?
Yeah, I can see that, and unfortunately, like, I don't want to be like old man yells at sky, but, and I don't want to speak for them, obviously, but I think this is a result of people not wanting to see conflict or come across conflict, and that's the teachers on their end.
Hey, Law. Back when we left Cisleden, you remember how you said so long as you don't give up, there's nothing to stop someone starting over?
Yeah?
Well, I think you did just that. You've set out on a new path despite what happened in your past. Besides, you're not the only one fumbling your way through things.
You too?
It was your dad who taught me to fight. Back at the start of all this, I knew that so long as I followed him, I wouldn't end up straying. But it was also your dad who told me the importance of becoming my own master, of searching out the answers within me. I always figured I would one day. But at the same time, I had so much more to learn. When he died, I suddenly found myself rudderless. Sure, our immediate goal is to defeat all the lords. But then what comes after that? There's no one left to point me in the right direction. It was then that I realized, no matter how much I fret about it, the only thing I can do is fight. Renin brutality isn't going to right itself. So that's what I'm doing. Fighting. And in the meantime, I'll try to figure out my next move. Right now, That's about all I can do.
And you really believe you got what it takes to win this? Against all the odds?
Yes, I do. Or at least I want to. If I'm being completely honest, sometimes I'm not really sure whether I can or not. So what if we're still figuring stuff out? If we do it together, then we can support one another along the way. Is there anything so wrong with that?
No, I don't think there is. I think I get it now. We may not know what we're capable of, but we have to try all the same.
Having another one of your secret meetings? Don't tell me you were taking yet another bathroom break?
Oh, we were just engaging in a bit of brotherly bonding. Isn't that right, Alphen?
Yeah, that's right.
Fine then, suit yourselves. Hey, I think I can feel a breeze up ahead. I bet the exit is real close.
Finally! Man, it's been too long since I felt the sun on my face.
So, when I was in high school, towards the, in high school was when cell phones were becoming more of a mainstream thing. Like, we would get them, a lot of us when we started driving, we would get them. I remember, like, an old flip phone from Samsung. It was, like, gray. It was flimsy as shit, but we all thought we were cool as hell for having them. If we got caught with them, it was detention. I'm 33. But, those were when, like, 2007 is when I graduated. But still, like, we weren't allowed to have our high school, like, our phones in high school. We weren't allowed to have them out. Like, we could have them, but we weren't allowed to have them out. We weren't allowed to, like, be actively using them. Or else, we would be, we would get taken away and we would, get detention. I'm just kind of curious when that shift happened. When it was okay to have your phone out in high school. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of curious when that shift happened where teachers no longer disciplined for it.
When I get in a tussle, I go full force right at him. Whoever makes the first move wins.
I do have to admit, it's quite the spectacle to watch you charge in and go to town on someone during a battle.
Yeah, it was actually my old man who taught me to fight that way. The more I lay the beat down on some baddies, the more fired up my fists of fury get.
Zephyr taught you? Wow. I guess you really are following in his footsteps.
There's nothing wrong with being so focused on offense, but the enemy always fights back at some point.
As long as I don't get hit, it's not a problem, right?
So what you're saying is you're too weak to take a hit.
You're not exactly one to talk.
What were you two talking about earlier?
Earlier? Oh, it was just serious guy talk. You know, the kind that girls don't get to hear.
Really?
Don't mind him, Rinwell. It's just... well, maybe it is a little difficult to talk about in front of women.
Difficult to talk about? Okay, now I really want to hear it. Unless... it's not the creepy sort of guy talk, right?
No! Okay? It's not creepy!
Okay. As long as you're fighting fit, you can talk about whatever you like.
Oh my goodness. She thinks we're talking about farts and stuff. How long have you been teaching for? Actually, don't answer that. I don't want you to feel bad. You answered that a little bit already.
We're finally here. Elda Menancia, the land of green. The place certainly lives up to its name, doesn't it?
Yeah, just feel that breeze. It's like night and day compared to Calaglia and Cyslodia.
Unsullied, fertile land, as far as the eye can see. That's beautiful. Oh, what?
Oh, nothing. Just... I was thinking the very same thing.
That's the realm capital in the distance. The city of Vicent. A word to the wise before we continue. Elda Menencia has produced more sovereigns over the years than any other.
Shion! Guess we should probably follow after her, shouldn't we? Hey, you alright, Law?
Yeah, fine. I was just thinking how Dad would have enjoyed this view. All this green in one place is incredible. Anyway, let's get moving before we start looking tasty to monsters.
Is he going to be okay?
Eventually. That's a wall he'll have to overcome on his own.
Elda Menencia. Land of Green. Go to Vicent, the capital of Elda Menencia.